So, a very good morning, everyone. I request
Good
everyone
morning.
to check their
Good
mics
morning, ma'am.
positions.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, good morning. Please take your positions well and be ready. Okay, so shall we start then? I request everyone to turn on their cameras. I once again request everyone to turn on their cameras and please have their cameras turned on during the session for the whole session. Okay, so I shall start with few lines. परिंदों को मंजिल मिलेगी यकीनन, परिंदों को मंजिल मिलेगी यकीनन, ये फैले हुए उनके पर बोलते हैं, अक्सर वो लोग खामोश रहते हैं, अक्सर वो लोग खामोश रहते हैं, जमाने में जिनके हुनर बोलते हैं, जमाने में जिनके हुनर बोलते हैं. आदर, अभिनंदन, आभार. नमस्कार, आदाब, सत श्री अकाल, a very warm welcome, a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Warm welcome to this absolutely wonderful, momentous, and an auspicious occasion today that brings together so many special people like you here. I, Madhvi Mathur, on behalf of the Secretary of the event, Dr. Jyoti Baryal, Principal APS Dhar Road, have the pleasure to be the hostess of this day. Today, we are indeed honored to have amongst us esteemed judges, talented participants, the worthy teacher in charges, and the lovely spectators. Well, it's a great day we have been planning and waiting for. Once again, I extend my warm welcome to the august gathering present here on day 2 of Northern Command Inter-APS's AWWA Ethics Bowl 2023. Dear all, AWWA, a non-profit organization, endeavors to empower the families, children, and widows of Army personnel through socially relevant projects like skill development programs, awarding scholarships, and vocational trainings and rehabilitation of its dependents. Besides this, it has also been working earnestly towards creating a generation of Indian citizens with robust ethical values and strong moral bearing. AWWA Ethics Bowl is a thoughtfully curated annual event conducted in collaboration with Army public schools across the nation. A unique aspect of Ethics Bowl is that it fosters the values of debating with courtesy and politeness, and also engenders in them to take ethically justified stands in their real life through careful deliberation and extensive research. The competition also seeks to instill intellectual conviction and all the important 21st century skills of critical thinking, collaboration, team spirit, and problem solving. And my dear friends, APS Dharo is extremely indeed proud to host this wonderful event. We are eternally grateful to our Northern Command for having given us this opportunity. So, without any further delay, let's start the proceedings. We are glad that today we have with us such great eminent dignitaries who could spare their valuable time and have blessed us with their gracious presence. So, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our worthy esteemed panel of judges for today's event. Are you all ready to witness such great eminent personalities on this show today? Well, ladies and
Yes, ma'am.
gentlemen, the true grandeur of humanity is in moral education. The true grandeur of humanity is in moral elevation, sustained, enlightened, and decorated by the intellect of man. Yes, today we have one such eminent character amidst us on this auspicious day. We feel deeply elevated to take a note of the presence of our jury member, Mrs. Lakshmi Venkatesh, who is a renowned educationist. Ma'am, your hard work, commitment, and over 25 years of expertise in the field of education supplement the same. Dream to achieve and dare to conquer. Dream to achieve and dare to conquer. Foraying into education management, ma'am has a track record of successfully leading and motivating teams to achieve objectives and exceed expectations. A firm believer in creating values for the society, ma'am is wife of Lieutenant General P.R. Venkatesh, PVSM SM. Her work experience spans pan-India, giving her the opportunity to address the learning lacunae at different levels, enhancing the teaching skills and empowering teachers, evolving customized methodologies embedded in the curriculum to combat the following teaching learning outcomes. Her fort over time has crystallized into reviving a failing educational institution. Equipped with managerial, administrative experience and leadership skill, she has been successfully able to introducing pedagogical changes and creating a vibrant teaching and learning environment. Currently, Mrs. Lakshmi Venkatesh heads a school in Delhi which caters to the first generation learners and has led the school responsibly by augmenting high performing teams, managing diverse functions of administration and public dealing, and envisaging a knowledge society. An alumnus of University of Calicut, her proficiency in accountancy and business studies has assiduously aided the management in planning and executing a robust budget without compromising the safe and healthy environment of the school. Having 28 fruitful years of experience as an educationist, she has proudly shouldered the responsibility of the holistic development. Under her able guidance, the school has made immense progress. Well, ma'am, your presence to this event adds glitters to this show. We extend a genial welcome, dear ma'am. So, a very warm welcome to you, ma'am. Would you like to say something to our generous, our talented, young, eager beavers? Yes, Lakshmi ma'am, I think your mic is muted, ma'am.
Okay.
We can't hear
Well,
you.
thank you. I think it's unmuted right now, right? Thank you for those liberal use of words. I feel totally elevated. Anyway, good morning, my dear children, and welcome to this ethics bowl. And it is nice to see, and I think I'm seeing more of little children today, and I'm more than glad that these little minds have started thinking. And obviously, you have a mind of your own, and you're going to forward your thoughts. And I'm going to thoroughly enjoy listening to the voices of these young little minds, active minds, and wishing you all the best, my dear children. And
Thank you, ma'am.
Mind win.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for those encouraging words. I'm sure everyone will do their best. So, dear friends, you know, a million unlit candles and still darkness prevails. A million unlit candles and still darkness prevails. All that is needed is that one candle with light. Not only will the darkness be dispelled, not only will the darkness be dispelled, but also all the million candles will come to light. Yes, today we have with us such a beacon of light who has been successful in dispelling the darkness out of the lives of so many women of society, and many more are yet to be touched by her. With all her charming and cheerful greetings, we extend a hearty welcome to Mrs. Himangi Arora, in whose presence number of incomplete souls feel incomplete. Mrs. Himangi Arora, academic evangelist, founder of Nirmuktam Foundation, Managing Director, Project Swabhiman, setting baby steps towards formalizing Agro studies in the middle school education system. With the experience of 15 years in the field of primary and pre-primary school education, she is working for the Women Empowerment Project under the banner of the project Swabhiman, so that the women of the middle class society can be financially independent and handhold other women to be financially and emotionally enabled to support themselves, their family and community. Worked with profound school managements like Seth Anand Ram Jaipuria, Vanasthali Public School, Children's Academy, Ghaziabad. She is now into the women-centric project with the Leaders Group of Schools as Director, Communication and Trainings. She has received many accolades, including 2020 Women Leaders Award Under 40, Luani, USA, Excellence Award for Women's Leader Inclusive Education by Embassy of Czech Republic, recommended by CD Foundation, Women Excellence Award 2020 Global Triumph Foundation, International Women Leader Award 2021 Global Triumph Foundation, Most Promising Women Leader Award 2021 CSR Crazy Tales, COVID-19 Warrior Award 2021 Karma Foundation, Nari Shakti Award 2021 Nari Shakti Ek Pahal Foundation, Best Women Leader 2022 Global Triumph Foundation, and Global Leaders Excellence Award 2022 Aesthetics International. It's a great pleasure for all of us to have with you, ma'am. I think when I was reading your this accolades, it was coming to my mind that last 2 3 years have been very happening and very rewarding for you. There were many awards in your pocket, and I was thinking that there were many people out there who were, struggling with Corona and all that. But I think you were making your ways out, and this shows that time is never bad. It's what we can do with it. So we are really privileged to have with you Mrs. Himangi Arora, ma'am. I would like to hear a few words from you if you would like to share something with our talented buddies.
Thank you so much, Madhvi ma'am. Very good morning to all of you. I'm sorry for the switch off of my camera, but I'm sure my voice will be reaching to all the students out there. It's an
Yes,
honor
ma'am.
and privilege to be with you all today. And yes, when it comes to the silver lining, you need to find your own. That was what we started with when we were talking about in the pandemic duration, that what is supposed to be done and how can one reach out to the other. So actually 2020 pandemic was something that made me realize, and a lot of people with me in my team realize, that yes, if there is a pandemic, there is an opportunity to reach out to the other ones and help them, at least nothing but motivate them enough to stay, sustain, and do what they are known, what they are supposed to. And today's event is something which I would say that ethics goal is a concept which definitely some people have thought to bind the society so that we can have the inculcated value system in the kids. I'm looking forward to solution makers. I am sure that solution can only be on the plate when somebody thinks about the problem and explore the opportunities and value system to the core. So I'm looking forward to all those solutions that might come if we are going for the case studies today. Looking forward to the event. I'm really glad to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's true that in this era of so many troubles and problems going on, we really need to have solution-oriented students, especially because they are the future of our society. So thank you so much for your valuable words, ma'am. Next, dear students, life is not about expecting, hoping, and wishing. It's about doing, being, and becoming. The Lord says, here is my servant, whom I strengthen, the one I have chosen, with whom I am pleased. I have filled his spirit with my spirit. Yes, dear all, we have such a guardian sent by God, and it's an esteemed privilege to welcome respected Colonel Animesh Vats. I would like to speak for him. Colonel Animesh Vats, Dr. Animesh Vats, he is currently a senior advisor surgery and prosthetic surgeon, professor, Department of Surgery, AFMC, Pune. He has worked as assistant professor, Department of Surgery, IGICH Kabul, Afghanistan, wherein he worked closely on mine blast injuries and lower limb amputees in the war-ravaged nation. He has taken fellowship in prosthetic surgery at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, entailing aspects of upper and lower limb amputations, trauma, and orthopedic reconstruction and rehabilitation of the amputees. He has been in charge of artificial limb sub-center of Army Base Hospital, Delhi Kent, introduced the concept of IPOP, that means immediate post-operation prosthesis, to help facilitate early rehab for amputees. Currently actively involved in training of postgraduate and undergraduate students in nuances of surgery at Armed Force Medical College, Pune. Sir has represented Government of India as part of Indian delegation for establishment of Artificial Limb Center in Kabul, Afghanistan. Sir's areas of special interest are operative and non-operative rehab in pediatric population afflicted with cerebral palsy, rehabilitative surgeries, trauma reconstruction and rehabilitation of the upper and lower limb amputees, and advanced laparoscopy. We are extremely delighted to have such a great personality with us, who is not only serving the Indian Army but also serving as in the medical profession. And I'm sure he must have touched so many lives. He must have saved so many lives. And we are privileged to have you with us today. I would like to hear a few words from you, sir, Mr. Colonel Dr. Animesh Vats. Sir.
Thank you so much, organizers. It's an honor to be around. It's great to listen to the perspective of the future generations. Today's children are more evolved as compared to what we were nearly 3 decades ago. The topics which have been given are extremely contemporary, and it will be great to hear their perspective and how the future leaders of our country are planning to shape up this nation. Thank you so much, the organizers, and best of luck to all our children. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So, dear all, I'm certain that the journey to the grand finale will be very exciting and a fulfilling one for the students who will undergo the most enriching experience of their lifetime. Is it? Are you excited for this?
Very much, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Very much, ma'am.
Well, it's also said, Yathachit tatha vacho, yatha vachas tatha kriya. Yathachit tatha vacho, yatha vachas tatha kriya. This means that as is the mind, so is the speech. And as is the speech, so is the action. And we believe that through this competition, the participants will acquire the art of striking the right balance between the thoughts, words, and actions. Our best comes out when we have honest discussions, and this is the essence of this competition. So now we have come to the most important part of the day, that is the match between APS Almora and APS Rakhmuti. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to witness the wonderful, knowledge enriching and insightful deliberations by our young, eager beavers. So let's gear up for a striking beginning of the show. Are you all ready? We are going to start with the final thing which we are waiting for. So get set ready for your best performances. So before we begin, we have this bowl with me. I hope you can all see this. There are 2 checks in this, right? One is for APS Almora and one is for Rakhmuti. I'm going to shuffle it and we are going to find out who is going to be the presenter of the day, who is going to take the lead and break the ice. So let's see. We have APS Rakhmuti with us, who is going to present first. I hope you can all see. So APS Rakhmuti, are you happy? As is the start, so is the end. So I'm sure we are going to have a great session delivered by APS Rakhmuti. So I repeat that team A is APS Rakhmuti, who is going to be the presenter right now, and team B is APS Almora, who is going to be the responder. I request the judges to please note down. And I request, before we proceed, I request APS Rakhmuthi. Rakhmuthi is the tape, you know. So I request APS Rakhmuthi to kindly introduce yourself very fast so that we can hear your voice.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Harleen Kaur from class 10, and I'm very excited for the ethic bound competition.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gaurav Sharma, and I thank AWWA for this amazing opportunity.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sonakshi, and I'm really excited and I feel honored to be part of this competition.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vineet Sharma. I'm from class 12 standard, and I'm very excited for this competition, and I'm thankful to the respective authorities who are giving opportunity.
Good morning, everyone. Myself is Sharma from class 10. I'm very thankful to AWWA for giving me this opportunity.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Isha from 12th A. Our team, APS Rakhmuthi, will try their best to express our views in the best possible way.
Great. I'm sure you'll show a good team spirit. Collaboratively, you'll rock the show. And next we have Team B, APS Almora with us. So kindly introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gaurav Pandey, and I feel honored to be in this competition.
A very delightful morning to one and all present over here. This is Tanuja, and I am obliged to have bagged this opportunity to represent my school, APS Almora. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is Ananya Gautam. I've been prerogative to get a chance to represent my school in this competition.
A very good morning to everyone present over here. I'm Lokesh Jina, here to exhibit myself in President AWWA Rolling Trophy Ethics Board 2023 as a researcher from my team Army Public School Almora. Thank you.
Good morning to all the extreme judges and participants. I am Karuna Jina, and today with our school, I am presenting President AWWA Rolling Trophy Ethics Bowl 2023-24 as a researcher for my school, APS Almora.
That's so nice. As you said, you are a researcher. You are truly all the researchers. Is there anyone left, I think?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
a very
sorry.
pleasant morning to everyone. I am Vaishnavi Joshi, student of Army Public School Almora, and I am overwhelmed with joy to represent my school in the President AWWA Rolling Trophy Ethics Bowl 2023. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope the researchers will today bring so many good researches and so many insightful deliberations today. We are going to be a learner today. We are not teachers sitting here today. We are going to learn so many different things from you today, I hope. So before we proceed, let's have a quick overview of the rules and regulations, format of the match before we begin. So listen to that carefully. I know you know that in advance, but listen that carefully again. First of all, each team will be given 10 minutes to present, including answering the ethical question put up by the moderator at the end of the case study. Second, a reminder bell will be given after 8 minutes. After 8 minutes, there will be a reminder bell. That will not be a closing bell. That will be a reminder bell. And finally, the bell will be given after 10 minutes to sum up the case. After that, 1 mark will be deducted for every minute, excluding the time limit. The other team will be given 2 minutes to confer. Kindly make sure you take your 2 minutes to confer. Okay, you don't have to start immediately. You take 2 minutes to confer and 5 minutes to comment. A bell will be rung at the end of 5 minutes. The other team is also required to ask a maximum of 2 questions to presenter team post their commentary. The presenter team will be given again 2 minutes to confer and come back with their answers. No cross questioning by the other team is allowed. Next, the presenter team is required to answer the questions put by the other team within 5 minutes. The team can decide whether all the members will speak or only one member speaks. A reminder bell will be rung at the end of 5 minutes. After this, both the judges will ask 1 question each. They are allowed to cross question the presenter team members. The presenter team will get 2 minutes to confer and get back with their answers. So after the judge's question, you also have 2 minutes to confer and you have to get back with the answer. There will be a 15 minutes break before the next team presents its case. Once the next team starts, the same format as the one mentioned above will be repeated. The moderator closes the event by finally announcing the score for both the teams and declaring the winner. Okay, so all of you are clear with all these things? So any query? You all are clear?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, are we allowed to take down some notes?
Are they allowed to? What kind of notes?
Ma'am, the things which the other team presents for commentary. For commentary.
You can jot down the notes. You can write if you want something, but you're not allowed to read anything from the page.
Okay.
It should be plain paper with you only.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Is there anything else? So shall we start? As we know, team A is APS Rakhmuthi, right? So APS Rakhmuthi is going to be the presenter. I'm going to put up the case study for you. So the case study is mobile lynching. You are posted as an additional superintendent of police in a district. The incidents of lynching over the rumors of child lifting have increased in the state in past few months. Recently, one such incident took place at the government hospital where two brothers who had taken their nephew to a doctor for treatment were misjudged and attacked by the mob over suspicion of child lifting. The police rushed to the spot after receiving the information and rescued the brothers. However, one of them was declared dead on arrival at the hospital. The deceased person was a young leader and potential candidate for the upcoming Panchayat elections. The locals from the nearby village, along with the relatives of the deceased person, are protesting and accusing police of negligence. They are claiming the incident as a planned political murder and demanding for arrest of the rival candidate who has strong political backing. So is the case study clear to you? Now, yes. Okay. Now the question for you is, what would be the course of action taken by you to manage the situation as an additional superintendent of police? Suggest the measures to deal with the incident of lynching. Okay. So APS Rakhmuthi, are you ready with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You have time of 10 minutes. After 8 minutes, there will be a reminder bell. So make sure you abide by the rules. Okay, so I'm setting the timer. You can have your presentation start, please.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
So may I start now?
Yes, you may start, please.
सभी अतिथिगण, गुरुजनों व मेरे सहपाठियों को मेरा नमस्कार। किसी ने खूब कहा है, हथियार उठाने के साथ मानव सभ्यता के इतिहास की काली रात होती है, जब हमारी बुद्धि विपरीत दिशा में बहने लगती है, जब हम अपनी झूठी शान की खातिर मासूमों का गला रेतने लगते हैं, जब मानव अपनी मानवीयता बुलाकर रक्त पिपासु बन जाता है, तब की स्थिति में हथियार उठाना अपने पतन का कारण बन जाता है। जब मानव दूसरे के सच को झूठ समझता है, स्वयं को दूसरों से खूब समझता है, कोर्ट कचहरी की कौन माने, वह खुद को ही कानून समझता है। देश में जब लोग कानून व्यवस्था पर ही विश्वास नहीं करेंगे, हमें ऐसी घटनाएं देखने को मिलती हैं जिसमें भीड़ द्वारा किसी व्यक्ति को मार कर उसकी हत्या कर दी जाती है। भीड़ में किसी एक व्यक्ति को दोषी नहीं माना जा सकता है, जिससे ऐसी घटनाओं में पर कार्रवाई करना भी मुश्किल हो जाता है। प्रस्तुत मामले में जैसे कि हमें दिया गया है कि भीड़ ने मारपीट के चलते किसी एक व्यक्ति की मृत्यु हो गई, उनके लिए वह केवल एक मृत्यु थी, पर यदि हम ध्यान से देखें तो एक परिवार ने अपने पुत्र को खोया है, पर इन कानून के रखवालों को क्या परवाह। क्या वहां पर खड़ी जनता का काम केवल मौन रहना था? जी नहीं। यदि मैं वहां पे उपस्थित होती तो मैं सबसे पहले अस्पताल के कर्मचारियों के साथ में संपर्क करती, जिससे वे स्थिति को शांत कर सके। हमारा संविधान भी हमें ये कहता है कि हम किसी से भी उसके जीवन को नहीं छीन सकते हैं, पर इन कानून के रखवाले बनने वालों को क्या परवाह। अब मैं चाहूंगी कि मेरे साथी गौरव इस पर अपना पक्ष रखें। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Hari, for your views. Now, भीड़ का कोई चेहरा नहीं होता. A very recent example is Pagar mob lynching case, where where two sadhus along with their driver were brutally killed just because they had a misconception that they were child lifters. Most shameful thing in this case was that the police was present there while this was happening. Even the police handled the victims to the mob by themselves. Can you believe it? The police, which has the duty to save the lives of people, to save them, instead of saving them, they handle the victims themselves to the mob, so that they can do whatever they can. After the incident, 89 accused were arrested by the police, which were held in the court. But a few months back, the accused were released on bail by a special court in Thane, and there was a new hearing date presented, just like other 4.7 crore pending cases in India. Let me ask you a question: why people in mob commit such crimes? Because they do not have a fear of being punished. We have strong laws, but the enforcement is very poor. In such cases, if I was the assistant superintendent of police, then I shall make sure that I would not allow unnecessary social gatherings. And if they are happening, then I would make sure that there are a good amount of policemen available so that these incidents can be minimized. Now, I would like to Vineet to add his own views.
When I say that mob lynching is not an appropriate description of the incident, I seek to underline the organizations behind it. On the spot of incident, it's my first and foremost priority to provide medical supervision to the survivors and also note the hearings of the people who are associated with the act. After that, a proper investigation would be done according to the Indian Penal Code laws and regulations. The preventive measures that we can take to prevent such incident in the future can be approving the public gatherings only if followed by the order of concerned administrative officer, by analyzing the previous cases of such incidents with special intelligence reports, by strengthening our state or the UT administration, and also by finding the main culprits behind these situations, and also finding the people who are influencing these incidents through hateful speeches. Now, I would like to convey to Sonakshi to add upon the point.
When an innocent becomes a victim of mob lynching, humanity dies 1,000 times. Our team strongly believes that mob violence is an obnoxious slur on the legal system. It stems from the notion of vigilantism and leads to anarchy. Such things needs to be under the iron hand. Coupled with the Punewala's case, we actually do have all the laws, they already exist, but what we lack is the enforcement of those laws. And at last, coming to the conclusion, our team believes that every life matters. At last, I want to say a quote. नजरें उठाकर दूर तक देखा, लाशें देखी जा सकती थी. जहां मुजरिम की ताजपोशी हो रही हो, वहां फिर कैसे हकीकत अखबार में आ सकती थी.
Is your presentation over?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. That was really, just a minute. It was really a wonderful presentation. Thought-provoking ideas were put forward by the team A. So, as we move on further, I would like to call upon the stage spotlights on team B now. So, team B, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Please comment on the performance by team APS Rathmurthy, and you can put the question afterwards.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, won't we get 2 minutes for conferring?
Sorry?
Ma'am, won't we get 2 minutes for conferring amongst us? Before commenting?
Okay, yes.
And ma'am, I have one more question. The first participant of the opposite team spoke in Hindi, but the rest of them spoke in English. So in which language are we supposed to comment in? And because it was clearly mentioned that being bilingual is not allowed in this competition. So ma'am, I had this query.
Yes, APS, just a second.
Sure ma'am.
Yes, APS Almora, you have 2 minutes to confer and you can come up with the question then.
Okay ma'am.
पहला question.
And ma'am, what about the language of our commenting?
Just yes, sorry, you are asking about the language in the comment?
Yes, ma'am, because they were being bilingual. So I was asking that if we also have to be bilingual or we have to comment in just one language, because being bilingual was prohibited according to the rules we got.
Mute kar. Quotations. Yes, actually one person can use single language. Okay, one person can use single language. He cannot change the language meanwhile, but on the whole it can vary, right? You can also use different language, but one person has to use only one language at a time.
Okay, ma'am.
So time is over. So time is over.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, we are ready.
Okay.
तो सबसे पहले मैं की तारीफ करना चाहूँगी. आपका प्रेजेंटेशन काबिले तारीफ था, लेकिन मेरे पास एक छोटा सा सवाल है और वो ये सवाल है कि आपने कहा कि आप इस तरह के भीड़ के आक्रोश का शिकार होते हुए किसी भी इंसान को जरूर बचाती, क्योंकि ये आपका फर्ज है. लेकिन मान लीजिए कि वही आदमी बीच सड़क पे किसी बच्चे को बहुत बुरी तरीके से पीट रहा होता या किसी लड़की को छेड़ रहा होता और इस तरह की हैवानियत दिखा रहा होता, तो क्या आप तब भी पुलिस के आने का इंतजार करती या आप उस इंसान को बचाती उससे और भीड़ को रोकती उसे मारने से? क्योंकि इस तरह के लोगों को बचाने और भीड़ से बचाने में बहुत ही बुरी घटनाएं आगे हो सकती हैं, क्योंकि इनसे उनका हौसला बढ़ता है। तो आप इसके बारे में क्या कहना चाहेंगी? All of you spoke quite well, and you said that that I want to mention that you did not mention the perspective of the mob about the misinformation he got. The mobs misjudged and thought that the two brothers were the kidnappers of child. But the reality was they had taken the child who was their nephew to the doctor for his treatment. But because of this misinformation, the mob attacked them and one of them was even killed. So you did not mention this. And of course, lynching are abomination that must have no place in a democratic society. Lynchings are uniquely unsettling derailment of government, while an act of mob violence is itself a sign of failure of law enforcement. It is committed in an apparent consideration that there should be a legal resource, but but you said that interrupted and judgment in the court must know that mob lynching is not defined in the Indian Penal Code. I want you to comment on this.
That's it, APS and Mola.
Can you please repeat the question again?
Okay. Yes, APS and Mola, could you please repeat the question?
The question is, why is mob lynching not defined as a crime in our Indian Constitution or in the Indian Penal Code? And about the second question, Vaishnavi will tell you. तो मेरा ये सवाल था कि भीड़ के आक्रोश से आप क्या उस व्यक्ति को भी बचाते जिसने बहुत ही हैवानियत भरा काम किया है, जैसे किसी लड़की को सरेराह छेड़ना, किसी बच्चे को प्रताड़ित करना? क्या आप इस तरह के हैवान को भी भीड़ के आक्रोश से बचाते? क्योंकि इस तरह के हैवानों को बचाना यानी कि उनकी हैवानियत को एक चिंगारी देना है। उनकी चिंगारी में आग लगेगी और वो आगे चल के इसी तरह के काम सरेराह करते रहेंगे। तो क्या आप तब भी पुलिस का इंतजार करते या फिर उस प्रताड़ित होते हुए बच्चे या महिला या किसी भी इंसान को बचाते?
I hope the question is clear to APS Rakhoti.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay, so you are given 2 minutes to think upon this, ponder upon this, and reply back then. So the timer has come to the end. I hope APS Rakhnuti is ready with the answer. So you can start your comments over the question. APS Rakhnuti.
I'm answering to the Vaishnavi's question. Here in the case study, we are already mentioned that we are the assistant superintendent of the police. So if we are present there, so how can we wait for the police if we ourselves are the police? We already have our policemen along with us. If something is happening in front of us, if he would directly arrest him rather than doing something else. And
कानून को हम अपने हाथ में नहीं ले सकते हैं उस समय, इसलिए हमारे लिए जरूरी होगा कि हम पुलिस के साथ संपर्क करें, क्योंकि यहाँ पे हम कानून व्यवस्था में हमें यकीन बनाए रखना चाहिए.
As for the second question, I've already mentioned in my viewpoint that there are will take action according to the Indian penal codes. We already know that there are not specific laws related to the mob lynching, but we can take action according to the IPC section 302, which is attempt to murder. We can take action regarding to the relative laws associated with it. Thank you.
Okay, is there anything more you want to add? I think it's a whole reply you have done. Okay, so thank you so much APS Rakhnuti for presenting your ideas over the question. That was actually a good insight. You got the question very well. And now it's turn for the judges round. I would like to request our first judge, Mrs. Lakshmi Venkatesh, to kindly come up with your wonderful question for APS Rakhnuti.
Well, children, I did listen to the pros and cons. You all spoke about the particular case study of mob lynching. Well, we all know mob lynching or any kind of a mob fury or a mob behavior is never an appreciated or a wanted behavior in a society. We are all sitting here, we are debating that whether this should have been done, this should not have been done, but it is after the incident has happened, right? Now, I want to ask you a simple question. Why do we all resort to this kind of a mob behavior? In your whatever knowledge you all have, can you just tell me, explain, why do we follow the mob at a particular point of time? Right? And my second question would be, you as a youngster, how would you be an instrument of change in trying to dilute this kind of a mob behavior? Because obviously tomorrow you too are going to be a part of a mob. We all are, right? And how would you be an instrument of that change? Two questions. Over to you, my dear children.
Thank you so much, ma'am. APS Rakhnuti, are you clear with the question?
Pardon, I couldn't get you.
I'm talking to APS Rakhnuti. Is that school clear with the question?
If not, I would repeat it. Children, don't feel hesitant.
Yes, exactly.
I think, yeah. See, I will repeat the question.
May you repeat the first question, please?
Yeah, I will. See, mob behavior, we all know is bad, right? Now, my question is, why do we all resort to this kind of a mob behavior? We all know it is wrong, yet it is prevalent. Why is it prevalent? And you, as an instrument of change, how would you dilute the mob behavior? That's my second question.
I hope it is clear
Over
now.
to you. Is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am. Now it's clear.
Thank you.
So APS Ratmoti and other school also, I request that when you end up your reply, please convey that, ma'am, this is it, and we are ended up here. So whenever you end your comments anywhere, you have to tell that it is over, because we have still time left for you. So we are thinking that you might have to say something else. We don't want to stop anywhere. So you have to convey that we are going to stop here. So your timer for the this starts now. Okay, so your time is over. I hope you're ready with the answer. So APS Ratmati, please present your comments.
Ma'am, these kind of incidents taking place in our society, these occurs when the people don't have the trust over the law that will they get justice or not. If there is a kind of if there is an illegal crime done in front of them, they do not have the trust over the law that will they ever get justice. So that is why they take the law in their hands and do the justice at that time only. And the mob, if one person is beating someone, then other also gets included because of the heat of the moment at that time, because the people do not get much time to think. And also
the second point which we want to state over here, the rumors that is prevailing in the society often touch the sentiments of the spectators. So they get involved in it without thinking rationally about the topic. And it's an impulsive thing that we do. We don't think much about it. The third point over here is, as a spectator, when you are seeing a mob fighting over something, you actually don't think about it much. You just get involved.
Also, at that point of time, we are not in such a mental state to quicken our decision or to take our decisions more accurately and briefly.
second question.
That's it.
Second question. If I was an individual present there, then I shall make sure that I would stop the crowd which is beating the person. I shall make them feel that law and order is still present in our country, and they should not take the law in their hands and leave the person and call police, and then everything is what police can do. Thank you, ma'am.
Lakshmi ma'am, could you please turn on the mic?
Well, one thing I like the last thing which you just said, but do you think it's a feasible option? It happens only in Hindi movies, right? Where you can stop the crowd. You cannot. When the mob as it is at its worst, even the entire police force cannot control the mob. It becomes bad. Are you able to hear, my dear children? Yes, you have anything to say? Yeah, you have anything to say? Please go ahead.
No, actually, we would like to add our views to the second question.
Yeah, yes, come on. Yeah. So, sorry, I think I butted in early. You can say.
Ma'am, as an individual, we have that ability, we have that conscience to judge what is right or what is wrong. As an individual, I would not take part in such mob lynching, as it is not an ethical practice that is going on in today's world. Everyone, there is lack of awareness among many youth as well. That is why they participate in such unethical practices. So, as an individual, as a young teenager, I would like to spread awareness regarding this issue. I would tell everyone, especially my classmates and all the people around me, so that they won't participate in such issues. Usually, the people who have empty mind, they are the one who participate in such situations. So, if people have something to do, they won't do all these things. Thank you. Yes.
All right. So, is that fine? You all have anything more to add on to that? Do you all have anything more to add on, children? All right. Are you all done with your answers?
Yes, ma'am, we are done.
All right. See,
Okay.
it's nice. One thing I would just like to add one thing. You know what? The entire answer to this kind of a mob behavior comes in one answer. We all react to a situation. We do not act. That is what we all need to develop within us. Pause, think, act. Right? Anyway, well attempted answer. And my dear boy, you can't control a mob. It's very difficult. The entire police force or even the entire army cannot control a mob when it is at its furious mood, right? But then certainly you can make a change by telling people act, don't react, right? So that itself will bring in a change. Thank you. Anyway, nevertheless, well tried. Thank you, children.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It is true that we most of the time react in such situations, do not act. It is a learning for me also. So thank you so much, ma'am. Next, we have another judge with us, Mrs. Himangi Arora. So I request ma'am to kindly put up your question and your points here.
Very well attempted questions, dear kids. I am looking, as I said, I'm looking forward to solutions, but solutions can only be identified if you look forward to the situation. So I would ask you, am I audible? Okay. So my question to you is that I would look forward to you to introspect the case study again, and every consequence, because mob lynching was a consequence. I would look forward to you as the superintendent of police. What introspection would you do to see that this should not have happened, and how can this be, you know, a situation, or should be the course of action post the mob lynching has happened? So you need to go back. You need to check why this has happened. So I want you to see the insight of the case study and give me certain points where you can say, as the superintendent of police, thus these are the reasons because of which the mob lynching has happened, and then what could have been done to take the appropriate measures for that if the loss has already happened.
So I hope it's clear to APS Rakhoti. Afterwards, in introspection of the case study and introspection here also. So let's see. The answer is clear to you. I request that please turn on your cameras. You're not allowed to turn off the cameras, please. APS Rathmurthy, I cannot see you. Okay, so you have the 2 minutes to confer. Kindly come up with the question answer after 2 minutes. So I hope you're ready with the answer. APS Rathmurthy, kindly put forward your points.
The first point which we want to state is that human life is the first priority. Second point.
पुलिसकर्मी होने के नाते ये बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाता है कि हम दोनों ही पक्षों के बारे में उनसे जानें कि ये इसके पीछे मॉब लिंचिंग के होने के पीछे इसका कारण क्या था, और जो आस-पास में खड़े लोग थे उनसे भी हम जानें कि कैसे हुआ। अगर आस-पास में कोई सीसीटीवी था तो हमें उसकी मदद लेकर भी जो पूरी स्थिति हुई वहाँ पे उसके बारे में कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए, जो हमें मदद करेगी उसके बारे में और ज़्यादा अच्छे से जानने के लिए, जिससे हम सच में जान सकें कि सच में यहाँ पे गलती किसकी।
As a police officer, I will first check that who is the main culprit behind it. I will first check the CCTV cameras around, which could capture the footage of the main culprit who infused the mob to do such acts. Also ask other people who were around who was the main culprit behind it. And I would also take the help of private videos which were captured at that time.
And also, there should not be spreading of private videos because this can lead to another mob or another thing.
And if any culprit is being found, then the action should be taken according to the rules and regulations of our country.
As I have taken the oath during my ceremony, so it will be the first priority to go through the deep roots of the cause of that mob lynching, because it is not an ethical practice. So as an additional superintendent of police, I will try my best to act neutral. I will not judge if the relatives or the village people are saying that it is of that the other political party has done all this. I will act neutral because it's my responsibility to act neutral in all such situations.
And most importantly, I would call an ambulance to take the victim to the hospital because human life matters.
So,
That's right.
you people are still able to see only one side of the document. I am looking forward to more in-depth study of the situation. So I would like to help you here rather than proceeding with another question. That when we are talking about a case study on a mob lynching is an outrage of the crowd, of the entire section of people. So we need to understand before thinking what is supposed to be done after mob lynching. We also have to identify the flaws or the loops that have leveled the situation to that very scale that where the people stopped thinking before reacting. So in a situation like where the child was brought to the hospital, still people thought that it is a situation of a child being kidnapped or something of that sort. So ये एक पहले से looped situations होंगे, right? There is a flaw in the system where the children being kidnapped but not identified, and वो जब बहुत बार होती है कोई चीज, तभी crowd उस level पे आता है जहाँ पे they start working, and then of course the other side of the story जहाँ पे उन्हें ये लगा कि it is a political murder or something. So you need to understand the case in that very sense that there is a lack of a system which is being trusted by the people. कि ये lack हमेशा रहेगा. So there has to be actions taken by the system, by the police department, where they have to take calls, where they have to go maybe out of the way to create the awareness of the situations and of the laws that are in the favor of the people in that very district or village or wherever the people are not very much aware. Because आपको भी अगर आंखें बंद करके किसी रूम में छोड़ दिया जाए और आपको सिचुएशन नहीं पता है, आपको नहीं पता आप कहाँ जा रहे हो, if you are in a black swan situation, you will be panicked. So the people who are unaware will always be in a state of panic. So the situation that can be handled is only by the awareness on the laws, on the sections, on the society, or on the situations that keep coming up. So I'm looking forward to the direction of this particular dialogue of yours. I'm really keen to know what is coming next. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was true that nothing happens in one day. There are a series of events that have made something like this to happen. So now we have Colonel Animesh Vats on the panel. I would request Colonel Animesh sir to kindly put forward your question and points.
Excellent elaboration of the points by APS Rakmuti. I have two questions wherein I want to know your point of view on this. First is, in this situation, the organizers have given an absolute clear narrative that the murderer, it was a planned murder by an opposition party. What, in your view, is mob lynching a spontaneous reaction or a planned murder? Usually. Second question is, you all know that much before the courts pronounce their judgment, the media is hell-bent on labeling the individual as possibly the guilty. Is mob lynching any different from media trial? What are the similarities? So two questions. One is, in your opinion, is a mob lynching a spontaneous reaction or a planned murder usually? Second question is, what are the similarities between mob lynching and media trial, which is conducted on a daily basis in this country? I hope my question is clear.
Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Amazing questions, and I really like this ponder. And I look forward to APS Rakmuti to answer over this. Your timer starts now. So yes, Team A, are you ready with the answer? Please present your opinion.
Yes, ma'am. Answering to the first question, usually mob lynching is a spontaneous reaction, but sometimes people tend to have mob lynching, but they have a different political angle. But usually it is a spontaneous reaction.
Extend the first question. Mob lynching usually starts with a rumor. So it is obvious that it is a spontaneous reaction, but people tend to use it as a murder plan.
Second question.
There are no such laws for people who die during mob lynching. So it was earlier a spontaneous process. It was earlier a spontaneous thing, but nowadays many political parties and many other leaders use this as a well-planned murder, so that nobody could know that what the root cause behind this would be. Thank Answering to the second question, media trial is a superficial thing. They do all that for the TRP of their shows, but mob lynching is a violent crime that is being done in our day-to-day life. It is a bit different from the media trial that is happening in our world. I'd like my members to continue the answer.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, is there anything else that comes from your side?
Yes.
Okay, excellent perspective. I'm very happy that the children can think and analyze to this extent. I firmly believe that all mob lynchings are planned murders. Every mob has a leader, every mob has a head. That head is trying to convert an individual battle into a war between communities. And that is how possibly the mob lynching begins. One. Second is, yes, in media trial, individual is not killed, but his reputation is marred forever. So media trials have an equally bad fallout on the society as well. I'm happy that you people can think on these lines. That is good enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. our students will definitely have learned some special, insights from this case study, which I'm sure will help them in future also, and all of us too. So that was really a wonderful session, commendable performances by both the teams. So we look forward for to the team B now for the next cycle. It's really a great performance by both of them. Now we are going to have a break of 15 minutes, and we'll catch you after that, after 15 minutes. So everybody, you are allowed to take a break of 15 minutes. So we'll get back to you after 15 minutes. Goodbye. Camera off है मेरा कर दो यार mic clear
मैं मीटिंग करके फिर करता हूँ।
Yes, sir, please continue. So, welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone is here. Kindly turn on your camera so that I can see if everyone is here. Okay. Okay, participants. Someone once said discussions are always better than arguments because an argument is to find out who is right and a discussion is to find out what is right. And today we are having a wonderful discussion over here, trying to find out what is right, not who is right, right? It doesn't matter who is going to be the winner at the end, but definitely we are going to find out so many things that what are the right steps we need to do in such kind of situations. So team A, you spoke really eloquently. There were some thought-provoking arguments presented by you, and I'm sure that judges also agree with that. That was wonderful deliberation of thoughts. You have expressed very good points and brought out some compelling, intense facts. It was quite a stimulating discussion. So we are next with the team B, that is APS Almora. Is the internet connection right at your end? Okay, APS Almora.
Excuse me, ma'am. Actually,
yes.
One of our teammates has accidentally left the chat, the call. So, ma'am, can you please wait till he rejoins?
Okay. How long will it take?
Ma'am, just 1 minute.
Okay. Try to make it very fast.
Okay, ma'am, we are ready now.
That's good.
Thank you, ma'am, for this time.
It's okay. So I'm going to read the case study for you without any further ado. And the case study is, Am I Even Indian? On January 29, 2014, A young boy named Nito Tanyam was beaten to death in the Lajpat Nagar area of Delhi. The reason being that he looked simply different. In 2016, two young guys from Mizoram were beaten in Bangalore for not speaking their local language. Two students from Nagaland were brutally tortured for hours by local men in Goregaon to teach them a lesson that you don't belong here. They said, if you Northeast people come here, we'll kill you. Some hotel denied to give them entry just because they don't look Indian enough. There are too many cases in which people from North India are treated harshly because they don't look Indian enough. They are told to prove their nationality. Even Bollywood has done harm by not giving right information. A study found that 78% of the people from the region who were interviewed believed that physical appearance was the most important reason for prejudice against them. The study said that amid the COVID-19 outbreak, people from the region faced an increased number of acts of hate and prejudice against them. Nothing can be worse than not being recognized by the people of our own country, being called foreigners. There are too many cases in which people from Northeast are harassed just because they don't look Indian enough. So I hope the case study is clear to you. Now I'm coming up with the question. And the question for APS Almora, Team B, is how would you contribute to end racial discrimination prevalent in our society? I repeat, how would you contribute to end racial discrimination prevalent in our society? So APS Almora, we are giving you 2 minutes to confer and come up with your reply. Your time starts now.
Yes, we'll start, Vaishnavi.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, we are getting time to confer before presenting our case.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry, I'm so sorry, APS Almora. I'm sorry. You are not going to have time for the case study reply. I'm sorry for that. Please come up with your reply. You'll be given, the other team will be given confer time after your presentation. So you have 10 minutes to give your presentation. Your
Okay,
time starts now.
Thank you for reading this case to us. I'm Vaishnavi and I'm going to volunteer to present the opening lines of our case. So it is very true that India has a rich cultural heritage and that Indians have excelled in different spheres. India also has a dynamic cross current of other cultures which always influences other cultures of India. And in this way, India has also achieved cultural unity by fusion of many cultures. Our motherland has assimilated the good qualities from all the cultures. However, it should also be acknowledged that we have inherited some negative aspects of our cultures as well. But being in a constant denial that everything is in a utopian state will be a big mistake, especially when ethnic discrimination still exists in our country. Just imagine the pain and plight of those citizens of India whose minds are constantly ingrained with the gospels of hatred. The prevalent cultural insensitivity, biased attitude, and stereotypes towards Northeast Indians have roots in the history of systematic racism. Such sense of alienation among Northeasterners has grown due to radical demographic shifts in the region ravaged by insurgency over decades. Such behaviors of our mainland Indians inflicts physical violence on the victims and exerts mental and psychological strains on them as well as on us. Also, the barbaric torture and murder of Nido Taniman in Lajpat Nagar, two youngsters and students in Bangalore and Gurgaon respectively, are the examples of how our society is constantly shattering the walls of ethics and values of our motherland by discriminating against their own brothers and sisters. If I was to come across such a remorseless incident, I would have taken a morally and ethically precise decision of taking a stand for my fellow countrymen, my own brothers and my own sisters. Because we may be divided by ethnicity, but we all are the children of same Bharat Ma. Now, I would like to pass on this case to my teammate Tanuja.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. We talk about India, gender and caste discrimination by default make a way into the conversation. But ethnicity, nowhere we consider the major problem in India. People from the northern states have always been facing a racial slurs like Chinky, Momo, Chinese from the people of mainland India. In last few months, just like this coronavirus, the people from Northeast have been facing a novel king of discrimination as well. If we take the examples, in Ahmedabad, a group of women were asked by the neighbors to vacate the building because they felt that they might spread the coronavirus. A Manipur woman was spat by the man in Delhi after he called her a Chinese coronavirus. A viral video from Pune going viral when a girl from Manipur was racially attacked when she was in the shopping mall. Every year, so many youngsters move to different cities, different places, and different countries to fit in and live in their lives. We have heard Indians face discrimination in other countries. But what we do if an Indian end up becoming tum log on his or her very own country? Now over to Gav.
Thank you, Tanuja. So I am here to tell you some causes which cause this discrimination in our country. Some of which are, first, lack of information. When people do not have adequate information about a certain community, they do not relate or empathize with them, and consequently see them as foreigners or outsiders, and thus discriminate against them. The second point is lack of feeling of unity. Usually, people of a certain city are not united. They hate each other, and in turn they discriminate each other on basis of their caste, creed, religion, etc. Next, stereotypes. There are certain stereotypes about how a person looks, how he behaves according to his race, religion, creed, caste, etc. Like as done by Hitler in Germany, when he told how Jews had a hooked nose. And similarly, in India, there are many stereotypes about certain communities, and thus we discriminate them on that basis. Next is language, or the mean of communication. Language also plays an important role in discrimination, as when we do not have the same language, we cannot communicate with each other, we cannot share our thoughts, and in way, we cannot share our feelings, and we become discriminated. And at last, there is ethnicity. It is one of the most prominent discrimination in India, as Dravidian Indians and Aryan Indians are two ethnic groups in India, which are just opposite to each other. Dravidian Indians consider themselves as the pure Indians and feel that Aryan Indians are intruders, and thus they discriminate on them. At last, I would stop my words by saying that some words of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Manpower is not a strength unless it is united and harmonized properly. And after that, it becomes a spiritual power. Thank you. Now back to Tanuja.
India is my country. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. If I say these words, I respect and believe in them. The Constitution of India governs all citizens the fundamental right to move freely throughout the territory of India. But why it is different for Northeast people? Citizens are citizens if they look like us, but if they don't, maybe we should be more empathetic and kind towards them. If we become acceptable for the different faiths and cultures, I will call out the race a red flag immediately if I see a sense of kind of racism or vulgarity. We should stand against the discrimination that we face. It is necessary to raise awareness and educate individuals to respect every culture and diversity. In diversity, there is beauty and there is strength. Now over to Vaishnavi.
Thank you once again for handing this over to me. Now I'm going to tell you some facts about how Northeastern Indians face discrimination in their own nation. We know that there is a dire need for emotion integration in the country. Even after more than 6 decades of independence, if we continue to fight amongst ourselves, we would hardly be able to fight other social evils. We have always been told that inner beauty always outweighs outer spectrum of a person, but still, 78% of Northeastern Indians are discriminated. Why? Just on the basis that they have more Mongoloid features and they don't look enough Indian. This ethical carnage has just increased since the COVID-19 outbreak, where they were tortured to appease self-chauvinism. Northeasterners felt othered due to unparalleled instances of violence and bigotry during the pandemic in their own country. Now, I would like to hand over to Ananya.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. You know, a paradise comprising of enchanting places like Kaziranga National Park, living root bridges, Taiwan Monastery, Zuku Valley, Loktak Lake, etc. Yet it is the least explored and understood just like its people. This is because media always finds a bad news about this place like a bomb blast, kidnapping, etc. But they never talk about the beauty and kind-hearted people there. The year is 2023. The human race has embarked on journeys that our founding forefathers never deemed possible. So how is it that we cannot seem to figure out that racism is a social evil? According to the World Value Survey, the second most racist country is India. Racism is a barrier between social advancement of our society. It is impossible to achieve something with such a narrow-minded and exclusive ideals. It is a delicate topic and requires people to have an open-minded and embraced opinions. It is possible to eradicate racism in our society if we are more open to such sensitive topics. Since racism is a deep-seated belief, we will require some time to change, but people should acknowledge the fact that to achieve anything significant, we need to let go of narrow-minded beliefs. Now that we have presented our case, our team is open for constructive criticism from our friends and the judges. And at last, I would like to put a period to our presentation with these wise words. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones who have been waiting for it. Thank you.
That was really a commendable performance. The persuasive words and ideas put forward by Team B, that is APSL Mora. Now, moving further, I request Team A to come up with your comments and your questions. We are giving you 2 minutes to confer and come back. So time's up. I hope APS Rathmurthy is ready with the question. Kindly pose your question and put up your opinions. APS Rathmurthy.
Yes, ma'am. So firstly, we really appreciate your views, our friends. You really put a clear and certain presentation of the case. Your views are matching with our views or as same of our views. Now I would like my team member to continue.
सात बहनें हैं ये एक जान, हम समग्र रूप से एक साथ खड़े हैं। प्रकृति और संस्कृति में है विविधता, यह पृथ्वी की खूबसूरती जीवों में एक है। पहाड़ियों की सुंदरता से लेकर मैदानों की शांति तक, वन का दृश्य मंत्रमुग्ध कर देता है। उन्हें अद्वितीय कहते हैं वे अलग कहते हैं, लेकिन हम एक ही राष्ट्रगान गाते हैं और एक ही राष्ट्रीय ध्वज को सलामी देते हैं। हम दूर एक और हो सकते हैं, लेकिन हम अलग नहीं। जहाँ न कोई प्राण दहेज न कोई रूढ़िवादी है, ऐसा है हमारा उत्तर पूर्वी देश। उत्तर पूर्वी भारत हमारे देश का एक महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा है, जिसके बिना हमारा देश अधूरा है।
Yes, I truly agree that there are some laws and regulations in our constitution regarding this, but the thing we need is to implement them properly, and also we need to change the mindset of people. If we will start this at a small scale, then only it will go up on a large scale. And you know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And I want to conclude with that.
And we do believe that Northeastern people are giving us up so much for the nation. We cannot forget the unparalleled dedication of brave Gorkha Regiment during Kargil War in 1999. But yet, after so many appreciations of Northeastern people, yet people want to think of them as delivery boys and ridicule them by calling them momo steamers. Well, if the nation can love momos, why not give the same love and respect to our Northeastern brothers and sisters? And no, they are not the producers of Corona. They are our own brothers and sisters. Coming to our conclusion, Team A believes that these are not the differences that divide us. What we lack is that we are not appreciating and celebrating the differences. Coming up with the questions.
Our first question for Team B is, what is your take about Article 15 and Article 17 in the Indian Constitution? Because even these are not able to protect the Northeastern people. Our second question is, even South India has different language, So what makes the Northeastern state different?
And I also want to add upon that, in today's modern era, I don't think that this language barrier make any sense. We are looking forward for Team B to answer our questions. Thank you.
Excuse me, can you please repeat your second question because it was not clear?
So our second question is, even South India, even the people belonging to South India have different, languages. They speak in English usually. So the language barrier doesn't make any sense here. And also in this today's modern era, it doesn't make any sense to say that language barrier is.
And what are the reasons behind the racism faced by the Northeastern people?
I hope that's clear.
Is it clear to you, APS Almora?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very wonderful points brought out by Team A. Now, Team B, you are given 2 minutes to confer and come back with your points over this.
Sure, ma'am.
So I hope you're ready with your comments. Kindly put up your points. You are given 5 minutes to for this, so be ready for that. Yes, your time starts now.
Thank you for the question you asked. I would like to answer. You said that Article 15 and 17 is based on uh, that the government has uh, but it is based upon the abolition of untouchability. Coming upon the language barrier, language is not a barrier. The Northeast Indians have different facial features, so that's why they are discriminated. We should accept the different diversity in our country. Over to you, Aranya.
Okay, you asked about Article 15. The state shall not discriminate against any citizen on grounds of religion, caste, sex, or place of birth among them, and no citizen shall on grounds of sex, caste, race, be subject to any disability, liability, restriction, or condition with regard to access to shops, public restaurants, hotels and place of public entertainment, etc., or the use of wells, tanks, and other public resort maintained wholly or partly out of state funds or dedicated to the use of general public. Nothing in this article shall prevent the state from making any special provision. So, any special provision for women and children. You asked about why is it not why is Indian panel government not able to implement this? Because the people in the northeastern state is a very huge number, and implementing these acts in that huge number is not very much possible, but the Indian government is trying their best to implement them. Over to Vaishnavi now.
I would like to add upon the Article 15 and 17 answer one more thing. The historical aspect. The hate and discrimination towards North Indians, this is deep rooted in our history itself. That is why Article 15 and 17 are not, implemented in such way that they should be. People are still very unaware of the fact that Northeastern Indians are also a very crucial part of India. Now over to Gar.
About the South Indians. And I made it clear in my part of the speech that South Indians are also discriminated on basis of their ethnicities, such as the Dravidian Indians and the Aryan Indians. It might not be on basis of their language or on their basis of their looks, though they are also discriminated on the basis of their looks, but they are mainly discriminated on the basis of their ethnicity. So we cannot say they are not discriminated. They are also discriminated, but to a lesser extent. Thank you.
That is it for our answer.
Okay, that was a wonderful deliberation of thoughts by both the teams. And now it's time for judges' question. So without wasting any more time, I would like to come up to Mrs. Lakshmi Venkatesh. To ma'am, kindly please ask the question to our team.
Yeah. All right. A slight correction to one of the team members who towards the end you all said one is the discrimination as it exists with the South Indian because of their ethnicity. I would like to correct, there's no discrimination on that. It is only a little bit of love for the color white, right? That. And secondly, there does not the principle of Aryans and Dravidians has been completely ruled out. It has been proven that it never existed. It was a later day creation by the Europeans who wanted to, if you go into the history, we would have lost to propound on that. It was basically an evolution for the British or the Europeans to actually market their products because industrialization had gotten in a very big way. So there no longer exists anything called as the Aryan and Dravidian race. It never existed. Right now I come back to the situation right now. One I would like to tell you is what constitutes the geographical India, right? So when we are all lead in our school, you know, with the geography texts and all, we all know what constitutes India completely. Why is there so much of ignorance as to we still think that the Northeast India does not constitute a part of it? And how do we wipe off this ignorance? Second, racism, in what forms do you see as it exists in India? Most of you have actually have answered that question, right? But why does it exist, and how can we, as at a school level itself, you know, at the very budding, like as they say, nip it in the bud? How can we eliminate this kind of a thought process which we all harbor? So over to you, team. Thank you.
So APS Almora, Team B, are you ready? Did you understand the question?
Ma'am, can you please repeat the first question, the geographical one?
Yeah, I said what is the geographical constitution of India? It is just a simple geography question, like we all learn, right? What are the various states? So why do we even assume that Northeast was never a part of us? And why is there such a rampant ignorance amongst us, even after learning at the school level, basic school level, that this is indeed a part of our country? So over to you. I hope
it is clear you till now. Right? So APS Almora, you are given 2 minutes to confer and come back with your reply then. Your time starts now.
पावर तो बंद करने नहीं बोले यार.
So Team B, APS Almora, I request you to come up with your comments over this now.
So ma'am, thank you for your question. And so the answer to that is, the first question, that geographical one, is the geographical constituents of India India has a variety of landforms. Almost all the landforms are present. They are present in India, and we are so lucky to have them.
we have deserts, we have mountains, the Himalayas, and the coastal lines help a lot in our economy and our well-being. Over to my teammate.
So for the first question, the northeastern states were in history ruled by various rulers, but they were not really in part of the main Indian Empire. As we know, while in the time of the Mughals, there was another ruler in the northeastern states. And as we have read in our previous classes also, like that the chapter about Tripura and Agartala, that there was a specific dynasty which ruled the northeastern states for a very long time. And at that time, it was not the part of the main Indian Empire, which was constituted by Mughal Empire and other empires. And thus and after that, in the British era also, the area of the British Empire did not only contained a small part of the northeastern states. It was only after they were asked how will they want to join the India or Pakistan that they answered that they will join India. And at that time, they were part of the Indian nation. And now, now I will pass on to Vaishnav. Ma'am, wait a minute. Her mic is not working.
If we talk about the development of the northeast India, the development is taking really fast. The people of northeast India want to come up and bring their want to explore the country and want to tell us more about the diversity, the tribes that are actually inherited there. And we Indians also, we all Indians love our motherland. So we will also have to cooperate and vote wisely to stand for the anti-racism policies and to promote the equality among each other.
So I would like to add up some points about the geographical context of Northeast India. So as we know that Northeast region of India comprises of 7 states: Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Tripura, and Sikkim. And this northeastern India is connected to the mainland India by a very small narrow strait, which is also known as the Chicken Neck or Siliguri corridor. And this parts the northeast India and mainland India, and this is also a very main reason why mainland Indians are unhinged of the cultures of northeastern people. Also, Northeast India shares boundaries with many Southeast Asian countries such as China, Myanmar, Bhutan, etc. And this is why they have Mongoloid features. And this is also a very big factor which makes them different from other mainland Indians in their terms of looks. And these looks are one of the most prominent factors why they are constantly discriminated against. Now I would like to pass on to Lokesh to answer the second question.
I would like to answer the second question about how to eradicate racism in a country. First one, educate people about the various cultures of India. The peoples there should not be shown as uneducated tribals, but there also be shown the things which they have succeeded in. Second one, use social media for a good cause. Some of the websites we can see tell about only the things which are happening bad there, about the people who are spreading terrorism there, but they did not show about about the things, about the heights which have they reached. And third one, broaden our perspective from the Chinkis and Momos to Sunil Chetri and Mary Com. And that's all I want to answer. Thank you.
I want to add up some points that the government should require police, courts, and prison authorities to gather and maintain and publish statistical data and identify the race, ethnicity, or descent, as well as the gender of those who are involved in such criminal justice processes. And government should carefully review the performances of of all institutions with the criminal justice system to identify patterns of discrimination and should undertake necessary restructuring and introduce correct measures, correct mechanism to address discrimination that is found. Thank you. Thank you.
And I would also like to add up some points that we should also tell our children about the fundamental duties and fundamental rights of people. That how it gives the right to equality and the right to life to all people which live in our country. So no one can be treated as inferior in our country. And similarly, we also have certain duties along with those rights, that we should respect the rights of others and treat them as equal to our, and we should have a feeling of fraternity in our mind. That's all. Thank you.
It was wonderful deliberation by the team, a good team spirit shown by everyone.
Thank you,
So,
ma'am.
Lakshmi ma'am, would you like to add something? Ma'am, your mic is not on. We are not able to listen to.
Yeah. All right, children, that was very well answered. Now I'll just put in that answer to one thing. It was the dynasty which ruled the Northeast was the Ahom dynasty, which spread to up till, it was one of the largest area which they covered, right? That was the Ahom dynasty, and that's why they could. Anyway, let's go to the history part later. Anyway, well answered. Now my only answer to all of your question and an answer is, as you all said, that these people, all these kind of thought process should be criminally tried, right? You are the tomorrow of this country, and many of you may hold important government portfolios. So let's hope you implement, because implementation is where we all take a big beating. And let's hope you implement it status quo and do justice where it needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Certainly, ma'am. We really expect this from our students.
Yeah.
Next we have in the panel Mrs. Himangi Arora. I request ma'am to please put up your points, ma'am.
Thank you so much, madam. Allow my very well answered the previous question. I think there's teamwork that is helping together all.
Ma'am, your voice is getting freezed in between.
Yes, ma'am. Voice is cracking, I think.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. I think, is it because of the microphones you have used this time? I think so. Sometimes it comes out of this because of...
Am I audible and clear now?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear now.
Yes, ma'am.
My question to you is that, okay, when we are talking about discrimination, it is the lack of acceptance in a very short and precise form, if I say. I want you to put some light on the fact that how education and the subjects taught, maybe the mainstream subjects or the liberal studies, how can you promote acceptance to different kind of discriminations for the Northeast or maybe the mainlands of the Indian states? And how do you think that it can be implemented throughout? Hope my question is clear.
Yes, APS Almora, is the question clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you are given 2 minutes to confer and come back with your points. Your time starts now. So time's up. APS Almora, kindly put up your points. Yes, Team B, APS Almora, kindly put up your points, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your question. I would like to answer your question that education plays an important and significant role in our life. A child is like wet sand. You can mold it in any shape. If the portray of the importance of the geographical as the cultural aspects in a more embracing way, it can help in the power relations, discriminations, and guarantee the equality that can be defined through education. Now, over to Ananya.
So I would like to add some points upon it. Tackling discrimination is not just simply a duty laid on schools. It is also an important aspect for students' well-being and educational success. Children and students and young people who are treated unfairly or discriminated against are more likely to have negative attitudes towards school, experiences of bullying, health problems, and many more. But one of the challenges facing the tackling of discrimination in schools is lack of data. Statistics specifically focused on discrimination in schools are scarce. Children with disabilities, for example, do not always appear in national statistics and may be invisible to decision makers, service providers, and the public. Such children are particularly vulnerable to discrimination and are often segregated in terms of educational provinces. Over to my teammate.
So I would like to add some more points in this answer. First is that no kid is born evil. We must know that. As anything that is in a kid's mind, it is through the society, his environment, where he lives. If nothing bad is going on around in his environment, the kid will not learn any bad thing. So firstly, we should also make a healthy environment for a kid, and also aware the parents about how their actions can affect the kid. Thank you.
Education can be used as a tool to form prejudices that led to discrimination, or we can teach students to accept a multicultural and diverse society in which man and woman are equal. That's the answer. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it, APS and Mora. Do you want to add something?
Ma'am, that is it from our side.
Okay, over to Himangi, ma'am.
Thank you so much, children. I want you to understand the value of arts, cultural studies, religious studies, subjects like tourism will be studied and implemented. If there is an implementation of these subjects, then children will not be unaware, the people will not be unaware, and promotion of these subjects, whether it is the dance forms, music, tourism, we might get ahead of time if we are talking about the acceptance for the culture, for the people. So when you say there is a discrimination of South Indians or North Indians, the students of arts, the students of dance forms, the students of Bharatanatyam, Kathak, they don't find any reason to find there any kind of discrimination. Rather, they appreciate the diversity. Same goes with the tourism. So if we are having more colleges, more schools in that kind of area or in those locations, I'm sure there will be definitely a change. And as a solution, these studies, these subjects, if you start studying even for your own selves, there will be a lot of clarity and there will be a lot of acceptance in your heads. So thank you for answering my question and putting your thought process in that very direction.
That's so true, ma'am. Very great point that subjects like art integration, dances, forms, and all these things can really help to eliminate all this. So that was great from the team as well as our judges. Next, we have in the panel Colonel Animesh Watts, and I request sir to kindly put up the question.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wonderful explanation by our young leaders. Two comments and one question and two questions. One is, I'm not sure whether racism is an Indian concept at all. It actually has been imposed on our society. That's what I firmly believe in. Possibly the prevention of mass movements and deliberately keeping the Northeast underdeveloped prevented their assimilation, cultural assimilation in the Indian society. So yes, the racial discrimination we do face for our friends from Northeast. One question that I want to ask you is, do you think that the division of India, the creation of a federal structure of India, creation of states on linguistic lines, on the science of language, has created more discrimination, more divide amongst us, or has it united us? One. The second is that does our history, what is taught in our schools, the curriculum of the history, does not bring out the details of our glorious past? Does that also contribute in alienation of the Northeast? Like as Dr. Lakshmi has already brought out, there is no information on Ahom dynasty for the most of you. That the larger part of Southeast Asia was at one time a part of the greater India. So do you think that this also creates an alienation, has helped in creation of alienation of Northeast from the mainstream India?
So is the question clear to you, Team B?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're given 2 minutes to confer. You kindly get back. Okay, so your time is over, and I request you to kindly put up your answer. Team B APS Almora.
First of all, I would like to thank sir for his question, and I would like to answer the first question that was on linguistic basis. So I would like to answer this question with two examples, which are of our book only, or NCERT book. One of Belgium and one of Sri Lanka. In Belgium, there were three types of people on linguistic basis. That were Dutch speaking, French speaking, and German speaking. So the Dutch speaking were in majority in Belgium, while the French speaking were minority in Belgium. But what did they do in that situation? So they made states on basis of linguistic lines, so that and made it so that there is equal participation of each part of these types, each people of these types. And on the other hand, there is Sri Lanka, where there were two main parts in which people were divided, which were Sinhala speaking and Tamil speaking. So in Sri Lanka, the Sinhala speaking were in majority, while the Tamil speaking were in minority. And in that situation, they took over the majoritarian aspect of democratic government. And the Sinhala community dominated the Tamil community and even suppressed their views, and which in end, as a consequence, led to a civil war in Sri Lanka. While in Belgium, it stood as an idol, and that's why the headquarters of the European Union were put in Brussels, in the capital of Belgium. So sometimes to unite people, we have to take some hard decisions, which might seem bad at first, but might help the whole nation in a long run. Now over to my teammates.
I would like to answer the second question, that do our books give the correct information about our past? So our NCERT, the book focuses a lot on how the British wronged India and how we fought with all we had to taste freedom sweet and rightful. But they hardly addressed why the why of East India Company gaining such control over the subcontinent. There hardly existed unity among the rulers. They were becoming increasingly selfish. The Britishers were becoming increasingly selfish. They were welcoming the foreign help to raise their revenues and many other things. Also, the book never dwells on how other colonies such as US or China, for example, rose magnificently when compared to India from the debris of what British colonization left them. Over to my teammate.
Sharing borders with Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, and Myanmar, India's northeastern region is strategically important. The states that make up today were chiseled out of a vast patchwork of ancient tribal areas and kingdoms in the 1960s and 1970s. These states were created to meet the aspirations of different tribes and distinct ethnic and linguistic groups. During colonial British rule, these tribes were deliberately isolated from mainland India, and traditionally these states enjoyed trade and tribal link with Myanmar, Bhutan, and Tibet. It was after the Anglo-Burmese Wars in the 19th century that they come under British rule and were initially placed in the Bengal province. By 1947, when India achieved independence, the northeast region was divided into Assam and the princely states of Manipur and Tripura. The 1960s witnessed a massive change in the region's map. Over to my friend Vaishnavi.
I would like to add up to the answer of about linguistic division of Indian states. So let me tell you a bit about languages of Northeast India. Northeast India constitutes a single linguistic region within the Indian national context with about more than 220 languages which belong to various families of language such as Indo-European, Sino-Tibetan, etc. And as my friend Garv also said that linguistic divisions were made to ensure that there won't be any future civil wars and tensions between the people of one whole country. I don't think that this linguistic division plays a very major role in discrimination against Northeast Indians, because all the states of India are divided on the basis of linguistic sidelines, but we don't discriminate amongst ourselves. We mainland Indians don't discriminate each other usually on the basis of linguistic lines. So I think it is the linguistic division does not play a very major role. It might play a very minor role, but there are myriad other aspects that are very prominent, much more prominent than this linguistic sideline about discrimination of Northeast Indians. That's it. Thank you.
Well said. The ideas presented were really wonderful. Sir, over to you, sir.
Brilliant explanation, young children. I'm extremely happy with the explanation. I'm very happy that you have this, the analytical brain which we expect from the future leaders of our country. There will be differences of opinion, of course, but I'm very happy that the way people have analyzed. Very good. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate both the teams for the way they have expressed their views in critical analyzation of the case. So I appreciate, all deserve applause for successfully completing this cycle of Match 4, Day 2. So here we have completed this wonderful session, and a special thanks to, of course, yes. Very special thanks to the technical team, without which I'm sure it couldn't have been possible. And it's not a one person or 4-5 students who have done this. It's definitely the work of so many teachers, the management, so many other people there. I would really like to say thanks to them, to your parents who have contributed in you. And I know everybody is eager to know about the result, but certainly we have to wait for a while. We'll have a 10 minutes break. Till then, I request our worthy judges to kindly send the judgment sheets, scoring sheets in the group of the judges as soon as possible so that we can come up with the result. We're going to have a 10-minute break. We'll see you after that.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
So wonderful students. Till the time the result is getting ready, I think I just wanted to have a little chit chat with all of you. Wanted to know your experience meanwhile, because I don't want to miss such wonderful students talking. So how was your experience? Anybody like to share?
Ma'am, this experience was really magnificent for all of us. We had prepared for a long time, and we are very happy that it went so well. And our coordination, especially, it was overwhelming, that it was certainly not expected that we will be able to perform so good. But it was really nice.
That's so great. Yes, it was really a good coordination overall. And have you all prepared this in just one day, I guess, is it?
Yes,
Prepare
ma'am.
all these things. And that was the main thing which I really got astonished. And the way you all have prepared doesn't seem like it was just a one day overnight preparation. So how was your experience, APS Ratmuthi, preparing all this in just one day?
It was a quite nice experience being here at all, and we learned a lot. And I think our answers were to the point and were not oscillating around the topics. And
How is it going to affect you for the future?
yes, ma'am. As I've said earlier, we learned a lot from this competition, and obviously we'll look at our weak points and we'll work on it. And I think it will surely help us in future. And I want to thank the authorities who are organizing such competition and giving us the opportunity to participate.
Okay, that's so nice.
And ma'am, I want to thank you. You hosted so well. You made all of us so comfortable with you. And just thank you for that. You did so well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And I would also like to thank you as well as the judges who were so patient and kind with us, and they showered us with their blessings. Thank you all once again.
Right. And how do you think that how far have AWWA been, successful to come up with ethics values delivered through these sessions? Do you think we have been successful in that? I hope you're comfortable with this conversation.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Totally
ma'am.
comfortable. Ma'am, we
Yes,
have participated in many competitions conducted by AWWA, and till now, my personal experience has been really well. The conductors are very nice always, and it always teaches us something new and something good. And even though winning and losing are just two sides of a coin, we the most important thing is that we always get to learn something. So I think AWWA has succeeded in its what it has grown from.
You're Vaishnavi, I think, right?
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
remembered your name. That was nice hearing you and everybody
ma'am.
else also.
Thank
So
you very much.
meanwhile, the result is getting out to be announced. Can I see our worthy judges? I think Colonel Animesh sir has actually left the meet because he had some another meeting. So we are going to miss his valuable words at the end. But meanwhile, if I request Mrs. Himangi Arora to kindly address our students the way they performed and anything you would like to uh, tell our students. Himangi ma'am, can you hear me? Yes, ma'am. Sorry,
Okay, so there is a issue with the system of mine, so I had to join from my phone again.
Okay.
So thank you, all of you, all the kids there, and APL Tharo wrote for coordinating so well. Of course, AWWA's initiatives are well known, and this is one of the most amazing thing that I have witnessed. I have witnessed this for a first time. Uh, I just want to convey a message. Whatever you are discussing on the platforms, children, try to incorporate it in your lives, whatever way possible. Okay, it is not like we will be shifting the mountains in a day or two, but eventually, gradually, even if a single learning you will start focusing on, you will be able to change your entire personality and entire thought process. And anything, as Martin Luther once said, that if you're not able to run, you need to walk. If you're not able to walk, at least drag, but you need to move forward, right? So keep that in mind. आपने क्या बोला आज is one thing, the way you presented is one thing, but the topic that you researched, that you thought, your educators thought, the people thought were important. Try to go back, research them, find the reality, go for a reality check. That is what ethics are supposed to be. You need to be righteous. To comment on anything, you need to know the facts. So, as Lakshmi ma'am was talking about the history, Animesh sir was talking about the history, geography, political aspects. So, obviously, that comes with the experience. But being kids, who I'm sure you people have definitely grown your intellect to the level that you're sitting in front of so many people and you have presented the dialogue so well. So, don't put a full stop here कि एक task था complete कर लिया. Go study, research, try to get the learnings and go forward with that. And I'm sure you are going to be wonderful leaders. I'm really glad to see you all. And I'm very emotional because these topics were really, really heart touching because reality में इसके reality check बहुत different होता है. आप लोग सोच पा रहे हो and the educators are able to bring those topics in your study domain. That is the wonderful thing. I'm really happy to see you all.
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
the appreciation.
All from my side.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really true. These are definitely going to be the future leaders. Wherever I'm sure they will go, they'll come out with bright colors. Because I know these things really matters a lot. Because when I was a kid, I was in schools. I used to participate in almost all those events. And they have, I don't remember the awards which I have won or wherever I have lost. But definitely all this has put a strong impression on me, and that definitely counts somewhere. It doesn't matter whether you lose or win today, but I'm certainly sure that the impact is going to be very profound and long lasting. And I just want to hear something from Mrs. Lakshmi ma'am. Ma'am, would you like to say a few words to our children? Ma'am, your mic is off.
Okay, yeah, I know. All right, good afternoon, children. That was a long 3 hours.
Good afternoon,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon, ma'am.
I know.
Good afternoon.
Children hooked onto a place for more than 20 minutes is difficult, and today they have been there for 3 hours, which is very, very substantial and very impressive research work you all have done. See, that's the only way you learn. It is not through textbook alone. So don't limit yourselves to the textual content. You all need to expand your horizon and above all implement what you have learned, right? That is where the growth actually starts. Otherwise, somewhere you just wail out of the system. You become one of the ordinary, right? And I would like to see all of you reaching that extraordinary mark. Go ahead, stand for the truth, and stand for that is right. That is the ultimate and the final aim of all these program which has been coordinated under ethics bowl. All right, children, all the best to you. You all spoke so well and your confidence was indeed great, and loved you all for it. God bless and do well ahead.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your wonderful sharings, the points, the things you really shared with us were very informative, and everybody participated so well. And now I think the time has come everybody was waiting for. Even I don't know the results, but yes, you'll get to know the results from such a personality who is actually my idol also. She is the one from whom I have been learning, and I have learned so many things, and I always love to hear from her. And today I'm so happy and glad that the one who is going to announce the results, she is the principal of APS Dharod, Dr. Jyoti Badial ma'am, and I'm delighted to invite ma'am on the stage to kindly share the results with everyone, and everyone is so eager to know that from you. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Madhvi. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Madhvi, but I don't think so. I deserve too much. Anyway, thanks a lot. Dear students, first I would like to address you. The very first thing is that winning, and I'm going to announce the results. So I would like to tell you one thing, that winning and losing doesn't matter, beta. It always matters that what matters is participation. You all have participated with full zeal and enthusiasm. The way you all were representing yourself was, self-explanatory. I would like to give applause to your mentors, your parents, who have actually, ethics ball is a collaborative efforts of everyone. Your parents, your teachers, your judges. You must have added number of things in your bag today also. As esteemed jury members, they have lot many things which because I was in both the matches. At times I was viewing match this A, or at sometime I was in B. So whatever I have viewed, this small children, they were representing themselves like anything. So looking at your zeal and enthusiasm, that really made me, I was missing my school days, that we people have never ever got opportunities to represent ourselves in a way you are representing, and the guiding, and you have lot many guides these days, right? So in our times we have not got those opportunities. You are really fortunate, and you are the future of our nation. So I would like to thank each one of first of all, the jury members for contributing and for shaping the nation, right? Because you are the future of our nation. So, dear jury members, I owe my gratitude to you first for sparing your valuable time. Because our judges are all eminent personalities. So, lot many things we have learned today, dear jury members, from you people, and. Again, I'm really grateful to the mentors of the ethics ball. Dear children, please do pay gratitude to your teachers who have taught you, who have, helped you to reaching up to that level, that you were so confident, and that confidence was reflecting that how much efforts you have, applied to prepare. So I was happy, extremely happy to see, I congratulate the team of teachers, mentors also. And before announcing the results, for sure, I'll be failing in my duties if I don't appreciate my technical team and the moderators of today's events. And for sure, children are the first priority to you people. I owe my gratitude to each and one of you. Keep yourself, update yourself accordingly, because this is an era of, NEP policy, new education policy. Because of that, number of changes are coming, right? So we have to accept that changes. For those things, we are, organizing such events to develop your persona and all. So all of you, I can see, I'm looking at the faces of the children. They are eagerly waiting for the result. But I'm reaching up to that, this thing first. But first, before announcing that, for both the teams, a big round of applause from each one of us. Right? You all have done very well. Winning and losing is apart from it. So don't mind. Uh, there is always a difference, right? By winning, you have to add more confidence, and you have to prepare right in that way that whatever you have missed, that should not be missed next time, right? So that should be the challenge to be taken for the teams, right? So today's winning team is APS Almora. APS Almora is the winning team with 155.5 points, and APS Rakhmut team is at second status, and that is 125.5. So heartiest congratulations to each one of you. Best of luck, all the best wishes for your future endeavors, Team Almora. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you very, very
Thank
much.
you so much, ma'am.
Welcome. Pleasure.
And
pleasure.
congrats to the other team also.
Yes.
Because losing and winning are just two aspects, but they also presented very well. So my congratulations to them too.
Great.
It was really a great
Congratulations, APS Almora.
everybody is so happy
Thank you
with
very
this.
much.
Thank you very
Winning
much.
and
Thank you
losing
very
is
much.
nothing to count.
Congratulations to you.
Congratulations, APS Almora, and congratulations to you both, APS Ratmuthi also, because you have really done so well. I hope everybody has learned so many lessons from this session, which is more important. And once again, a big round of applause to the winner team, APS Almora. We are looking forward for one more such kind of great performance at your end in the next match. See you in the next match with much more to go. Are you excited? How's your feeling then?
Ma'am, we
We
are
are
feeling
very
excited for the next.
You're excited for the next show now. Give our regards to your teachers, to your technical team, everybody out there who has helped you to reach to this point. And
Yes, ma'am.
I request our worthy judges if they want to comment over here about this. Mrs. Lakshmi, ma'am, would you like to say something? Lakshmi, ma'am. Okay, we have Himangi, ma'am, with us. Would you like to say something? I can't hear. So I think with this, we have come to the very important part. Yes, Himangi, ma'am, I can see you. Ma'am, your mic is off. Okay, I think you are having some technical glitch. Is it? Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. But we have heard your valuable words. So congratulations, everyone, and all the best for your future endeavors. I'm sure you all are going to be the future leaders, bringing ethics and moral values in your day-to-day life, living handling the real life situations with ethics and good moral values. So all the best, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for having done so great. And thank you so much, Principal Ma'am APS Harwood, for sharing the wonderful results with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, dear. Thank you.